With 10 days to go to the inauguration of the president-elect Bola Tinubu, the federal government has released a schedule of events that would culminate in the big event, which is built for May 29. You know, the big do, according to a plan released by the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, the incoming Commander-in-Chief would be conferred with the highest national honor of Grand Commander of the Order of the Federal Republic, GCFR. That's coming on the 25th. Now, Tinubu and, well, ahead of the May 29 inauguration, I should have said, but the correct sequence of events will commence on May 23rd with the regimental dinner in honor of the incoming president. There is also a valedictory Federal Executive Council, that's the last one, in the mix. The National Security Advisor, retired Major General Babagana Monguno, has assured of adequate security ahead of the inauguration. We couldn't ask for more. Let's share a story with you. Please follow us.
The focus of all Nigerians and members of the international community is on May 29th, date for the inauguration of the Nigerian system's president. This press conference is meant to inform the world on activities building up to the presidential inauguration. Events are expected to start off on Tuesday, 23rd May, with a regimental dinner in honor of the Commander-in-Chief, followed by a series of daily events up until Monday, the 29th of May, when the inauguration parade and swearing-in ceremony will be held. Other subcommittees also gave a report of their readiness for the D-Day.
Around the Eagle Square, which is the epicenter, up to a certain range in which security agencies have been tasked to give adequate protection. There will also be traffic diversion and the provision of alternative routes for motorists and pedestrians.
Principal venues for the events leading to the inauguration are the Eagle Square, the International Conference Center, and the State House Banquet Hall. In fact, if the events are to hold today, we are good to go.
Concerns were raised on the impact of the ongoing tribunal sitting.
Not the first time we have run elections. In my active political life, I have seen different transitions, starting from the Shagari transition. It was litigated. The court went ahead with the inauguration.
May 29, 2023 will mark the 7th consecutive democratic transition of power in Nigeria. With the reeling out of program of events, it is obvious that all is now set for a seamless transition of power to the president-elect, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Helen Osamede Ikit, TVC News, Abuja.
Yeah, even about with 10 days to go, the inauguration is a fait accompli, according to the French.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm already looking ahead of May 29, because I'm anticipating fantastic governance. Because if you take a compendium of the sufferings of an average Nigerian in these recent times, you realize that if you compare it to every other person, you know, it's the same thing. We are all saying the same thing. So I'm already, it's like 29 is too far. I'm already looking ahead beyond 29. And I hope that we get past 29 peacefully. And then, like the president-elect said, he wants to hit the ground running. Hit the ground running, seeing to the issues of insecurity. Hit the ground running, seeing to the rate of unemployment. Hit the ground running, seeing to
the economy.
Economy.
Yeah.
Take us, let us move from a consumer nation to
a producing.
Exactly.
Because we were there before.
Exactly. Because I was reading a particular circular, and somebody actually listed a number of companies that we used to have then, and they had all left. So, I mean, I want to plead with the president-elect to please keep your, know the kind of people you surround yourself with.
Yeah.
People who are problem solvers, people who are nation builders, people who are ready to take us out of the dungeon, take us up and out of the dungeon. We are tired of staying there. It is, I mean, it's choking.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Jide, it reminds me of Charles Dickens's book, Great Expectations.
Yes. Nigerians have great expectations, and as I said yesterday, if we don't get it right now, we're in trouble because people are already going through a lot. There was a time in the Bible where things got so bad that people are killing their children, to feed themselves. I'm not saying we have reached that point. That will amount to an exaggeration. Even though an exaggeration is a figure of speech in literature and is permitted. But I won't go to that extent as to say we have reached that point. But the message is we should not reach that point. We should not get to that point before the people in government do something. And Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has an opportunity upon his inauguration to change the narrative, to show that what he did in Lagos was not a fluke, to show that, as he has always said, that he's smarter than other people in the race, to bring that smartness to bear. That is what we want to see. As a journalist who is not a politician and who has no plan to become a politician, no matter the pressure, I want to see a Nigeria that I can be really proud of.
Collective dream.
Yes, a Nigeria that I can show off people, to my friends abroad. A Nigeria that works. Honestly, within a short time, if he begins to do the right things, all of the people who hate him so much, calling him all kinds of names, who do not want his inauguration to take place, they will eventually fall in line or just shut up.
As they say, eat the humble pie.
Yes, because if someone is doing well, you can't stand on the rooftops and be calling him names and be saying it's a failure. You will not attempt that. If you attempt it, it's a problem that awaits you.
That's you have heard that a team is as good as the captain.
Yes, I'm happy that you talked about that. We have said before that you must find the right team. I think Nigerians will begin to judge Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu by the kind of team that he puts together.
Okay.
If he puts together a team of politicians, spent politicians that Nigerians are tired of, some of them are still around and are lobbying to be something in his administration. If he populates his cabinet with such people, Nigerians will be disappointed, and they will begin to see his administration as another opportunity lost, even before he takes off. So that's why he has to find the right balance. No one is saying, don't put these professional politicians in your cabinet. But your cabinet must inspire hope. Your cabinet must show from the first day that you mean business. And that's what he did here in Lagos. Asiwaju once boasted that, look, I have a cabinet of expatriates. I remember back then in 1999, there was an event where he was speaking and I was listening. And he said, I have a cabinet of expatriates. And look at that team that worked with him in Lagos. He didn't care from where they came from, But he had a good team of young people.
Expatriates was a figure of speech.
It meant that they are not career politicians.
That's it.
That was the point I was trying to make, that these are people, I found them worthy,
of being in
from different walks of life. they don't have to be career politicians.
Yeah.
You know? So the expectations are high, and it is our wish, it is our prayer that he will deliver.
Even about governance is like aviation. Like I hear in aviation, takeoff and landing are very key. If the plane takes off in an awkward manner, you can expect anything.
Everybody's
Awkward.
agitated. Okay, so I want to add to what we have said that the president-elect should remember that there is 35% affirmative action for the women. He has to raise the hope of the women.
Okay.
Because if you don't, I mean, look at the population of women in Nigeria. During the election, I went to a lot of places. I realized that we had more women than men. So it would be...
Because the women are easier to mobilize, and they are very loyal.
Yes. So I mean, how do you get yourself balanced when you're standing on one leg? It takes two legs to be balanced.
With a woman, two legs are...
Exactly.
Okay.
So let him
now
start off,
I know that.
Let him start off by making sure that he observes the 35% affirmative action.
Okay.
That will put a lot of faith and trust in the women for him.
I don't want you to take it from my lips. Electricity must come, and it must come.
Exactly. You see, our problems have lingered. If there is nothing new that we want to talk about, talk about electricity, it has been an age-long problem.
Put simply, the man knows the fields are all white.
Exactly. So I mean, we don't. He doesn't even need us to tell him, because
All right.
he is very concerned with everything that we are suffering.
Okay then.